Brawl Nation, welcome back to a sweet episode featuring the Sweet 16 Brawl number 4. I'm Rotag, and as always, joined by Willy. Willy, what's going on today?
Not much, man. Got out in the golf course the other day. Played much better than I have, so hitting the ball well. So I shot over 100, but when you hit the ball well, you just feel better about it. It's hard to describe. Golfers out there know what I'm talking about, though. It's like when the strokes are coming from the short game and the long game, and even the second shot game is going well, you feel a little bit better about the time in the golf course. So
there you go.
It was a nice day yesterday, and it was good to get out on the course again.
That's awesome, man.
And my cat's coming over right now.
God bless a man that loves a sport that gets it all wrong, like golf. I mean, any sport where you try to score the lowest instead of the highest is not a game for me because I always go for the highest. Maybe that's just because I'm a terrible golfer. In fact, I've only played miniature golf, and then I've gone to top golf and just whacked the ball a whole bunch of times. That's as far as I've gotten out on there.
Okay.
I don't have that hand-eye coordination, that control, that patience for it. I would be breaking clubs left and right. It would not be a good sight for anybody.
Perhaps, Rotag, but think about it this way. Look on the golf course on any day, and you see some old folks out there. If you want to play a game that you can play for the next 30 years, it's never too late to learn. So next time you're in town, I'd love to take you out on the course.
I appreciate that. Instead, I spent my off day on doing some target shooting, and so that is a sport that I can always enjoy. Had a good day.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that pic you sent me.
Yeah, I had a good day at the range there. Spent some time with some family and doing that, and so that was good. Got my camo on today, representing that. Plus, we had an absolute war zone, breaking up the field all over the place in the last couple rounds. And so I wanted to be able to hide here. I didn't want to get caught in the crossfires of these knockouts and jokers coming out. So, speaking of that, why don't we head down to Lambeau Field and get this brawl action started?
Let's go, man. I got my cards ready. It's time to go.
All right. We left off with a Sweet 16 matchup featuring number 5 seed Tim Howard versus number 9 seed Nick A30.
All right. We got the U.S., probably the most famous U.S. goalkeeper, Secretary of Defense Tim Howard, 5 seed going against a 9 seed. He will have a knockout potential with an ace or a king, or, of course, the Joker.
Let's see what those cards show us.
Here we go. Howard opens it up with an ace of clubs. Not even a punch thrown from Nick A. He's gone. He is heading home. Dwight Howard, moving on.
And that is a real shame right there for all
Tim
the
Howard, my apologies.
30 fans.
Tim Howard.
What's that?
I said Tim Howard. I originally said Dwight Howard, but he's not in this brawl. Maybe he will get an entrance in the next one. But Tim Howard, U.S. goalkeeper, through to the Elite Eight.
Man, the guy throws a knockout in the Elite Eight, and you're confusing him with a basketball player that is probably much larger.
Need a little bit more of this coffee over here.
But yeah, much to the chagrin of the Nick A30 fans, he did an amazing job making it all the way to the Sweet 16. I'm proud of him. He actually did read something out on chat the other day when I had mentioned about him versus Nunez, and he read that out on his chat, which was funny. And he was a little confused, But that's why he needs to be watching Brawl, just like the rest of you guys. Spread the news to your family and friends. Take them out to Brawl Nation. Let them see what's going on so that they're not left in the dark in front of 5,000 viewers and not sure what's going on. Next matchup, though, we are moving on, is the 2 seed versus 3 seed. We have the NYPD Cops, a dozen of them, going up against Francis Ngannou, UFC heavyweight champion.
Tough battle here in Lambeau Field, but we'll see how it shapes out. We got 0 natural knockout cards, only a joker. We'll get a knockout for either of these participants. Should be a good brawl. Let's see what happens. NYPD, the 2 seed, opens it up with the 7 of spades.
Respectable beginning.
Ngannou answers with the 2 of hearts. NYPD's next card, King of Diamonds. Strong start for the NYPD. They're throwing some blows over here. King of Clubs is the answer from Francis Ngannou.
That's a big
card.
So it is
17. Yep, he needed that. 17-12, he's still got a shot.
Yeah,
He
so
couldn't have another low card there.
no, he could not afford to just rely on the Joker. At least this time, if the cops draw low, he's got a chance to, still
He
throw a
does.
haymaker and knock him out. So we'll see how this plays out here.
Final card coming for the NYPD is a Queen of Diamonds. It looks like he's going to need a Joker and a Joker alone to save him. The Ace of Diamonds, but it's not enough. The NYPD is through to the Elite Eight, where they will face U.S. goalkeeper Tim Howard.
Yeah, and the Chicago SWAT team gets knocked out in the first round, and yet here's the NYPD cops, and they are advancing all the way to the Elite Eight. I'll tell you what, two great law enforcement agencies, and one showed up ready to brawl and the other did not. We'll see if the cops can continue to march down Saks Fifth Avenue and continue to dominate in this brawl. They've got a matchup against 5 seed Tim Howard in the Elite Eight. How do you see that one breaking down for the trip to the Final Four?
I see that the 5 seed versus a 2 seed. We got an ace potential knockout for the NYPD. They've done pretty well, but Tim Howard has come out with some knockouts, played well, drawn some good cards. He's a worthy competitor, and 5 seeds typically have done pretty well in our brawls. So it's anybody's game here in Lambeau Field. Who's going to be chopping down the metaphorical nets? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean it'll be a good fight. There's only a 3 seed differential, ace knockout. Not much going on there. We'll have to see. But let's head over to Las Vegas. Head down to the Strip there. We got a 4 seed Gable Stevenson, U.S. Olympian wrestler, going up against 8 seed college football commentary Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk Herbstreit. Wow, he's a surprise entry into this Sweet 16 matchup. He's got an uphill battle against Stevenson here. Seed differential is 4, ace king knockout potential, along with the Joker for Stevenson, and he gets the advantage of drawing first. So here we go. Stevenson opens it up with a very respectable 10 of spades. Herbstreit answers with a 2 of spades. Not a good start for college game day. He may be coming to your city, but he might be going home very quickly if he continues these low draws.
I see what you did there. Well, and to be honest, that wouldn't be so bad after what he did last round, knocking out Kane Tanaka, the Cinderella of the story, the number 16 seed, who had the biggest upset ever when she beat the number 1 seed Chicago SWAT in the first round of this Brawl 4. And so he just destroyed everybody's, Cinderella right like that. And it's funny because that's why he's probably not working in March Madness and only does college football, because he doesn't understand this. Even though the playoffs are now in college football, he still doesn't quite understand how rooting for that underdog is such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and those playoffs look like they might be expanding soon too. I'm pretty jazzed about that. Anyways, next card coming. Stevenson, 9 of spades. If he was playing poker, that would be a straight flush possibility. But in this brawl, 19 after 2 rounds, he's in good shape so far. Herbstreit answers. He needed that. 9 of hearts. Still down 19-11. Not looking good for Herbstreit here. Joker seems to be his only option out, but at least he's got the potential for a miracle 2 versus ace sort of scenario. It's going to take a lot to come back in the third round.
Well, yeah, at a 19-11, that's an 8 differential. The lowest card's a 2, so that means Stevenson's going to have at least a 10, which, like you said, he's going to have an ace or a Joker as his own possibility if Stevenson draws a 2. If Stevenson draws a 3, ace will tie. If he draws a 4, he only needs a Joker to win, and that would be it for Herbstreit. So
that, my friend,
the possibilities are dwindling right now.
Ooh, it's a 3 from Stevenson. Not a great card, leaving him with 22. An ace can now tie. A Joker will win, but it's a weak 4. Stevenson is through to the Elite Eight.
One villain down, one more villain to go in the eyes of this brawl commentator.
Rotag does not like Kirk Herbstreit. A very odd hatred in my eyes, but hey.
Listen, I've got nothing for the guy, and then when he did that to poor Kane Tanaka, he might have another chance later on. Her chances are probably dwindling. There's very less time for her to be able to compete, and he took that away from her and from all of us from seeing a 16 seed win it all.
What are you gonna do? You find yourself in the second round. You look up. There's a really old lady. I mean, it's a brawl. You can be gentle, but you gotta move on here.
Yeah.
And you just saw her like pull some crazy magic to knock off the Chicago SWAT. You got to be able to defend yourself. I don't know. Like, he did what everybody else would have done in that scenario.
No. A real gentleman would have
advance.
laid down right there and said, you know what? I will compete against others my own type. This is not even fair. This is, an outrage. And he didn't do that. Instead, he did. And then that's why Gable Stevenson just handed it to him, left, right, over, under, suplex here. Bam, bam, you're out, Herb Street. Go back on the road. Come to somebody else's city because you're not welcome in Las Vegas anymore.
Okay, let's move on to the next brawl before Rotag gets any more salty against Herb Street here. I'm sorry, I got a cat on the table. This is the classic Zoom issues. This is why it's very annoying here, but he is being very sweet and purring a lot. All right, we got Tyson Fury, the 3 seed, going up against the Phoenix Suns. Do you think the Phoenix Suns can hold on, or do you think they're going to be like the real-life Phoenix Suns and lose 3 straight here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought the Suns, when they were originally put in the brawl, the competition committee already had like a foreshadowing. I'm glad I didn't pay attention to them and bet on the Suns right now, as they are,
they're on the brink.
They're in a tough spot there for sure, and it's not working out for them. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we get Tyson Fury and get a Gable Stevenson Fury matchup, a couple of trained real fighters going at each other with different kind of trainings, one wrestling, one boxing.
Who knows? Maybe Chris Paul can set up an assist for one of his other teammates to deliver the knockout, but it'll have to be via Joker because 2-3 seed, no natural knockout cards. Seed difference is under 3. Well, here we go. The Phoenix Suns open it up with a 7 of diamonds. Tyson Fury answers with the 3 of clubs.
Not much fury there.
The Suns' second card is a Queen of clubs. Good showing from Phoenix thus far. 7 of spades from Fury. 17-10 going into round 3. Not looking good for Tyson here.
Nope. This is another one where, differential of 7 right now. You get a 2, that's a 9 card for a tie. So even a low draw of 2, 3, 4, is what is needed for Tyson Fury to have a chance other than the Joker. So we'll see what the Suns draw and whether it's a Joker or not for Fury.
Here we go. It is a 10 of diamonds for the Suns. Joker and Joker alone will save Fury now. It's the 9 of clubs, but it's not enough. The Phoenix Suns are through to the next round.
Yeah, and he got beaten every single card. First card, 7-3 beat. Second card, Queen of 7 beat. Third card, 10-9 beat. He was beaten every single one. The Suns, this time, came all the way through. They didn't let any, slide happen the other way. They were the one that went on a 3-game winning streak right there. So that sets up a Elite 8 matchup of 2 seed Phoenix Suns versus the 4 seed Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, and they've used their numbers to their advantage. They've definitely played good team brawling on this court, and they, in my mind, are the favorite to come out of the Las Vegas Strip.
Now, do you think that's a problem that they have that kind of team advantage, whereas Gable Stevenson is just one man?
Oh, absolutely. That's why he's got it. That's why he is a 4 seed, and the Phoenix Suns are 2. It's very difficult to fight more than one fighter at the same time, unless you're, say, fighting a middle school trombone section.
Yeah, well, and they won a fight earlier in a previous brawl too. So,
they did.
But yeah, we got somebody like the NYPD cops. There's a group of 12 moving on. We've got the Phoenix Suns, which is 12, 13, 15 players in basketball, depending on the roster and stuff like that. So, they're
on the other side of the bracket, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning and Bucs. Lots of folks there, and then of course the 15 Taliban, the villain of the tourney, and they're in the Sweet 16 over there in the Times Square bracket. So But then again, we had the Chicago SWAT lose to the world oldest woman. So
Well, but let's be
you never know
honest.
how these things are going to turn out. That's why the cards are so essential.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that was more of a sympathy thing that, now that I think about it, is that, they knew that they had an important job to do. They wanted to get back and protect their city. And
That's
so,
right.
and I mean, how's that going to look for publicity? Hey, Chicago SWAT beats up world's oldest woman. That's not going to look good. They were smart in that thing, unlike Kurt Hershey, who then turned into a villain. So, I mean, that's the way it goes. Let's move on across the pond to Buckingham Palace. Tampa Bay Bucs 1 seed versus 5 seed WWE champion Roman Reigns, fresh off a big time victory over Edge right there at Money in the Bank on this past Sunday. And so Roman Reigns, he was confronted by John Cena a little bit. Cena making his return there. Is that going to be in his head? And he's going to be a little bit off about the Tampa Bay Bucs? Is he even going to be thinking about that?
Well, whether he's thinking about that or not, he better get his mind on the Bucs pretty quickly, because it's 1 against 53 here, and that's a decided advantage for the Bucs. But who knows? Maybe the Bucs will watch Roman suplex one of their offensive linemen and get intimidated and just decide that, you know what, maybe it's time to go back and have another boat parade and sip a few more buds instead of fighting over here in England.
Listen, man, Roman Reigns, he's got that Superman punch locked and loaded. He's ready to deliver that, and he can come as a knockout just like that with that Joker, because that's what he'll need for a knockout.
As indeed what he'll need. The Bucs will have with a seed differential of 4, will have a knockout potential with an ace, king, or joker. And they get the strike first. Decided advantage for the Bucs. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see the cards.
Bucs' first card is the Queen of Clubs.
A queen.
Good start for the Bucs. Roman answers with the 4 of diamonds. The Bucs drop a deuce. Not a good card there for the Bucs.
That's quite stinky there.
12 points now for the first 2 rounds. Roman answers with a 10 of hearts to take the lead. It's 14-10. Roman Reigns, our champion, is in jeopardy. Rotag.
Yeah, this is one where both of us, should be rooting for the Bucs here, because we both have them in the championship, and it'd be nice to get a win on the board here in Brawl 4 finally for picking a champion right. However, man, I don't know. This is going to be a tough one for them to overcome. They do have some knockout card potential still remaining.
They do.
And that'll come in to help, hopefully, here. But if they don't get a knockout here, it's going to be tough sledding, because
they're uphill battle, definitely.
Roman is definitely putting up a fight here. He's ready to reign as the king of the Brawl right now.
Here we go. The Bucs' next card is an 8 of diamonds. Good comeback, but not enough for a knockout. They'll need a low card here from Roman in order to move on here.
Yeah, 4 to tie and 5 to win for Roman.
Yeah, they got 20 total. Roman's got 14, so Roman needs 6. 6 for the tie, but that's a decent. But it's the Queen of Spades. The Bucs are gone. The defending Super Bowl champs are knocked out of the Buckingham Palace region, and Roman Reigns showing that it's not just fake wrestling. He can fight when it comes down to it on the Brawl.
Wow, our champion gets knocked out again. We don't even get the Elite 8 for our champion here. It is rough picking for Rotag and Willy these days. It's not, it just goes to show you that we don't have any real inside information, because it's certainly not helping us. Hopefully, Brawl Nation, your brackets are doing better than ours. Our champion's out, and I know that my other semifinals was the Chicago PD, and they were our SWAT team. They were out from the beginning.
That's Mossad, and I had the Taliban. That's my last remaining Final Four pick, but I'm definitely rooting against them. I'm rooting for nothing but good folks from here on out. My bracket's already busted. Let's see some wildness happen.
Oh, now you're on the Kane Tanaka trip a little bit too late. Well, we still have another matchup here in the Sweet 16 here at the Buckingham Palace. We have Deontay Wilder versus the Lonely Island.
This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow. They are a fun musical group. Let's see if they got anything in the tank. They have made a surprise run, knocking out the Dodgers in round 2. The Lonely Island, the 7th seed, is here in the Sweet 16. They're going to need to avoid an ace or a king, though, against Deontay Wilder, or they'll be awfully alone on the island of defeat.
Such great commentary there. Way to set up the matchup. I am excited now. I want to see what's happening here. Who is going to go up against Roman Reigns there?
Here we go. Wilder opens it up with a 2.
Ooh.
2 of clubs. Weak start for Wilder. That's not how you want to open up a Sweet 16 matchup. Oh no! The Lonely Island has drawn the Joker! Deontay Wilder has been knocked out.
Joker! Yes, the Joker comes into play. And here it goes. The Lonely Island is moving on. They will be facing Roman Reigns in the Elite Eight. We have a Joker for the first time in the Sweet 16 in this Brawl number 4.
That's what happens when you got knockout potential and you open it up weak. You leave yourself open. It's a 1 in 27 shot, but hey, we've seen it happen on the World Series of Poker, on the World Poker Tour all the time. That miracle card can be drawn at any time, and in this case, if you leave yourself open, you can get jokered. Deontay Wilder is going to have to shake that off for his real-life battle in the future of Tyson Fury. But he is heading home here. He is not leaving England a champion. The Lonely Island, with the shocking upset here in the Sweet 16, knocks out Deontay Wilder via the dirty hit of the Joker.
Yeah, and as a 7 seed, they are the highest or the lowest, however you want to look at that, remaining seed left. They have the, most uphill battle, but they did get lucky with Roman Reigns knocking out the Bucs. There's not big knockout potential with the 5-7, only a 2-seed differential. They could end up making the Final Four, and it might be a little less lonely on that island then.
Indeed. They got that rockin' music. They are feeling good about themselves, and they got all the confidence in the world, especially now that they look across and they only see one guy. They just knocked out Deontay Wilder. They can knock out Roman Reigns. We never know what's going to happen here in Brawl. The cards are what does the talking.
100%. Let's move to Times Square, our final region here, the last of our round of Sweet 16 matchups here. We have 1 seed Tampa Bay Lightning versus 5 seed Venus and Serena Williams. Lots of champions there from in their own sports and stuff like that. Willie, are the Lightning going to continue their winning ways, or are Venus and Serena Williams going to show that they are the dominant duo?
You know what? Everybody keeps mentioning this low-hanging fruit talk on sports radio about the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And in my mind, and if you look at all sports, you do not have anybody who's greater than Serena Williams in her own sport. She has absolutely dominated women's tennis. Venus Williams, her sister's no slouch. These are true champions. And if anybody can knock off the Tampa Bay Lightning, who's a more recent champion and a dynasty in the making, it's going to be the dynasty that's been there for a long time now, which is the Williams sisters.
Yeah, that's a very good take, because you're right. I've been hearing all those arguments and stuff like that, and that's definitely something there. I don't think tennis gets the respect it deserves, maybe. Not that I'm a big tennis guy in myself, so but I think that's part of it is, you can't compare go from one sport to the next, because sports are very interesting. Some are team game based, some are not team game, some are more individual based. And the competition level is just very different in them. At times, there's so many competitors that are hot, and at other times there's only just one. And it's not that maybe they're so much better than the rest of the competition. It's just the competition is weak. And so it's hard to say one way or another, but true champions here, nonetheless. Tampa Bay Lightning, Serena and Venus Williams. We got champions all around. This is going to be a good fight. Let's see what those cards say.
Here we go. Seed difference is 4. If a 1 seed versus a 5, the Lightning can get a knockout with an ace king, or, of course, as we just saw, the Joker for either competitor. The Lightning open it up with an ace of diamonds, and just like that, the Williams sisters' run is over here in this brawl.
That is a knockout for sure. Very disappointing. So you fell into, I think, the whole I'm going to predict something and then the cards are going to make me look like an idiot thing that I've done way too many times here. And so it was a great run by Venus and Serena. They did a fantastic job in their earlier matchups. They were able to take out the queen bee with a queen in that, spot there, which was kind of exciting. and then they beat up Seth Rogen. And so, they did well in their things, and this one they didn't even get a chance to. And that's what happens sometimes when you're facing, the Tampa Bay Lightning, a team that knows who they're facing. They know that they're fighting a dangerous team in the Williams sisters, and they wanted to get it over quickly.
That's absolutely right, Rotag. It's that is how you got to play when you're this deep in the tourney. You can't, as Deontay Wilder did, leave an opening for a lower seeded team to come back and chase you down.
Well, the matchup that so many have been waiting for, particularly because so many are rooting against a certain competitor here. And we have the number 2 seed, 15 Taliban members, versus the number 3 seed, Brock Lesnar.
The hero in this battle, fighting 15 of these villains. We're all pulling for him. 2 versus 3 seed, no natural knockout cards, but the Taliban get to draw first. And here
Willy.
we go. The Taliban.
Willy.
What's up?
By chance, are any of the Taliban named Jonathan?
I don't have that here in front of me. Why is that?
Well, because, and I'm glad you asked, we had him knock out Johnny Bananas. And that's a Johnny. And Johnny Bananas knocked out John Daly, which is a John. So, I'm just wondering if, Lesnar is feasting on that. He had a chance to knock out either John or Johnny. Maybe if one of the Taliban are that, he might continue to be in that mindset. I don't know.
Maybe a bit of a stretch of a take there, but we'll take that. Anyways, the Taliban open it up with a 9 of clubs. Strong start for the worst competitor here in the brawl.
In terms of popularity, yes.
Brock Lesnar counters with the 6 of spades. Early 3-point lead for the Taliban.
Yeah, not great, but at least he was respectable. Throwing too low there would have been disastrous.
Got to keep it close and hope for some low cards, or the fact that you draw some really strong cards. Here we go. Taliban's next card is a 7 of hearts. Brock counters with the ace of clubs.
He takes the 1-point lead.
Narrow lead.
Oh, man, this is intense.
Tight battle here. Strong second round showing for Brock Lesnar to take the lead. Hitting a few of those Taliban, knocking them down, maybe making it a 1 versus 6 battle instead of a 1 versus 15 fight. But it is 17-16 Lesnar going into the final round.
Come on, Lesnar. You got to pull this off.
Last card coming for the Taliban is a jack of clubs. So they are in the clubhouse with a 26 total.
Well, Lesnar needs a face card here, or an ace, or a joker. So that's lots of possibilities.
He's got 17. A 9 would force overtime. A face card or a joker would get him the victory. It's a 7.
And the collective sadness as he put up a valiant fight, 26-23. Lesnar goes down. Taliban moving on to face the Tampa Bay Lightning in a 1 versus 2 matchup in the Elite 8. That'll happen tomorrow's episode where we bring you the Elite 8.
Indeed. It was actually even closer, 26-24. The Taliban take it down to advance to the Elite 8. There's the only 1-2 matchup in the Elite 8. And the Lightning will have to strike the Taliban and knock them out because we do not want to see them moving on to the Final Four.
Well, it was an interesting Elite 8, to say the least. We have Final Four matchups, Sweet 16 with the Elite 8 coming up. We have final Elite 8 matchups being the NYPD Cops versus Tim Howard. We have Phoenix Suns versus Gable Stevenson. We will see Roman Reigns versus the Lonely Island in a matchup of 5 and 7 seeds. So them, will definitely have, a kind of a upset there going on either way. And then the, chalked version, the 1-2 Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Taliban. That'll all happen in the next episode featuring tomorrow, which I will be there. Willie, will you be there?
Absolutely. I will not miss this matchup.
Excited to see who's going to move on to the Final Four for the hopefully live show, first ever on Friday. I'm Rotag. He's Willy. You can feel free to hit us up here on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment, and do that stuff. Hit us up on Twitter at Rotag and Willy, hashtag BRAWL. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Do that stuff.